Hey, what's that thing called? It's that memory hole struggle. We've all been there. You're mid-sentence and suddenly your brain decides to take an unscheduled smoke break. Smoking's bad for you. You turn to your partner or your friend and say, that thing with stuff at that place. And you expect them to be a mind reader. I call it brain fog, or for me, stroke stupid. I've talked before about my bread recipe causing me a minor existential crisis in episode 1, I think, and how I discovered the power of AI. Not the crazy kind, just regular AI. Now, lately, I've been trying to perfect a healthy loaf of bread. Less sugar, less fat, more dignity. But I have a challenge. I don't have a conventional oven. I have a sophisticated little air fryer that thinks it's convinced it's a convection oven. It's got a door, a basket, and a better than you attitude, I think. So when I bake, I use what's called a Pullman Pan. For the uninitiated, it's basically a metal coffin for dough with a sliding lid. It's great for air fryers because they're aggressive. They circulate air so fast that the outside of your bread looks like it's been sunbathing on mercury, while the inside is still a bowl of cereal. It's kind of nasty. Now, through extensive research and several charged sacrifices, I learned that the magic of the number 190 degrees. If the internal temperature hits 190, you've got a soft crumb and cooked loaf of bread. Now, the problem is I can never remember that damn number. Now, I don't know if that's the stroke recovery, if that's my old age, or, am I just a guy and can't remember? I can't remember what a soft-boiled egg takes, 6 minutes or 7 minutes, or is it somewhere in between? 190, is that a temperature or a year I was born? It's crazy. Now, I just asked myself, or my smart assistant, who I'm going to call the device so it doesn't trigger yours at home when I say Alexa. So I say, hey, device, what's that bread temperature I saved? And the device says 190 degrees, you forgetful human. Okay, she's not quite that rude. She's polite, but I can hear the judgment in her voice. Now, I used to use electronic reminders, but they're a black hole for me. I've saved info, and then I forget I saved it. But the voice assistant, the barriers are gone. It's not laziness, it's efficiency. I did the research. I Googled it. I tested the recipe. I did the brain push-ups, so to speak. The trust issues with my brain slowly disappear. Now, the stroke has made my memory a bit hit or miss. Sometimes it's just miss, period. It's frustrating when your brain insists on a lie. And I run into that. I'll give you a couple examples. A movie incident. I swore I was telling a friend about a movie. It was called Motel Hell. Now, my brain saw the sign, and it really said Hotel Hell. Or vice versa. I honestly can't remember. But my brain saw one thing, and that was not what I really saw. Another example is a $15 beverage. I went to lunch with some friends, and I had this, fancy drink for $15. I was kind of like, man, that's a lot of money. My friend said it was $12, not $15. Now, I kept my mouth shut, certain that she was wrong. I checked the receipt later, and she was right, $12. My brain literally photoshopped the menu. I saw $15, and it was actually $12. It's very disturbing when you can't trust your own hardware, but you just have to reboot and move on. It's a know-it-all robot. So what else can this know-it-all robot do? Well, normal stuff, conversions when I'm watching TV and I say something, I hear it's 40 centimeters. Well, I'll say, hey, device, how long is 40 centimeters? And it'll tell me. You don't have to do the math in your head because math is the enemy of my recovery. Nerd facts. I sat there today and I asked, hey, how many decks on the Star Trek Enterprise D? Well, the answer is 44. Does that help me in real life? Absolutely not. But it's cool as hell. Yes. What's in the fridge? This is a great one. I'll tell, hey, device, I've got a pork chop, I've got some sad broccoli and a bag of rice. What can I do? And she actually gives me a plan. Hey, why don't you make blah, blah, blah? I was sitting looking out the window here, drinking my coffee this morning, and there were flippy dogs. I'm watching these ground rats, prairie dogs, flippy dogs, whatever the hell they're called. And they're chasing each other all around outside. I couldn't tell if they were playing, fighting, or if it was date night, so I asked the device. Now, using these tools has helped me focus on what actually I enjoy. It helped me rediscover my passions, and for me, that's cooking, creating something new. Even if I have to ask the robot, what spices go with peas? Now, the answer is mint, apparently. Who knew? Now, so it's really helping me explore things in more enjoyment. I'll talk more about finding your passion in the next episode. But for now, remember the words of Oscar Wilde. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. So just remember, you never know when a stroke of luck is going to change your life. Do something new. Deuces.